So we are learning new details about a deadly shooting at a festival in Gilroy, California yesterday.
Outrage, sadness, grief, and anger, and raw numbness are among the emotions our country is wrestling with tonight. Our collective sense of safety strained at the breaking point by two mass shootings in the span of about 13 hours.
In regards to the suspect and whether or not he had an accomplice, we do know that police said they've heard these eyewitness accounts that perhaps there was another shooter or someone else with the shooter, but so far they say they haven't found any evidence of a second shooter or an accomplice. But I'd like to dig into what they said about the suspect's firearm. They called it an AK-47-like firearm. Do we have any more details on exactly what sort of weapon he used and how he was able to get this weapon? Police say he secured it legally.
Absolutely. They say he secured it legally. They say he actually purchased it a couple of weeks ago on July 9th in Nevada, that it is an AK-47 style assault rifle. So that's pretty much all that they were able to say. And again, when we think about the questions that, of course, we wanted answered by police, many people want to know the motivation, and then they want to know about that weapon. And it seems by this account that this weapon was purchased legally on July 9th.
They're not slippers. They're driving shoes. You're not driving right now. Well, it's meant for driving, and Stop gun violence.
I believe the problem lies at home with the parents not watching their kids on the internet, because it is coming out that a lot of these mass shooters are picking stuff up off the internet and everything. And I believe it starts at an early age. The parents nowadays, they just put their kids in front of video games or the internet. They don't monitor them, and they pick up these ideas off of the internet and video games. So I don't believe that gun control, we got plenty of gun control. I believe it's time for the parents to step up and start controlling their kids and what they're doing.
Avoid the situation. Not walking towards the violence or walking past drama in general.
Stop gun violence.
I understand you're the owner of some guns, is that right?
Yes, I am.
Tell me about it.
Oh, we own a couple of guns around our property. First of all, for safety. We also like to do hunting for deer, coyotes, and squirrels. So we also have that, and then we also like to do some shooting practices, targets and stuff.
Keep the guns off the streets. I don't know how to stop it, but something's got to happen. I've been shot twice. A robbery. I got shot with a 38 one time, and I got shot with a 25. 1 year apart over here.
Same day.
Same month.
Same month, year apart.
Yeah, same month. That robbery up and over the Rhine. Tried to rob me twice and shot me because I wouldn't give my money up. October 2004 and October 2005.
How do you think we can solve this gun problem?
be tougher on sales, gun sales, or something. Keep the guns off the street, out of the wrong hands. I have no clue. Something's got to be done.
You stay with at least a couple or two or three people to keep violence from happening to yourself. You travel with a partner or somebody that can help you.
We need to not have as many guns, and especially not have as many guns in the hands of people who can cause harm. First of all, we need an assault weapons ban of some sort. And we also need to have a rigorous system of background checks to ensure that people cannot just on a whim buy a gun and use it to harm people. These are my children, yes, and my wife. In this kind of an age, I mean, in terms of protecting my children from gun violence, we don't own a gun at home, and that's probably the number one way we can do it, because statistically, people who own guns, they're much more likely to be used either accidentally or self-inflicted to harm somebody in your own family rather than to defend them. So we do not own any guns. We do not plan to own any guns. And that's one way to keep us protected. Other ways are just through education, to making sure that my kids are aware of how these things work and why they should not handle them. And if they do want to use guns, how they should only be used like in a safe manner, in a safe environment, and making sure that they respect them.
Stop gun violence.
Liz, can you tell me how you keep your family safe from mass shootings and assault weapons and killings?
Well, I mean, it's not like I'm going to keep them outside of public places. That's unreasonable. But in that sense, we don't have guns in our house, so that's the best we can do. And we make sure that when they go to other people's houses, we make sure that if they do have guns, that they're locked and safe and things of that nature. But we're not like gun people. We're not into hunting, so for us, it's not a big deal not to have guns in the house.
Stop gun violence.
We were talking about gun safety and such. How do you see gun safety?
Describe it, but I feel like the age limit to be able to buy a gun shouldn't be 18. I feel like it should be raised a little higher, like 21, because you can buy a gun at 18 years old but not get a drink. It's kind of weird, and most of the school shootings that are happening now, there are teens that don't really have like the right mental capacity to be able to be owning a gun, and usually sometimes they take them from their parents, but we gotta like make it more secure for them to own a gun and keep it safe and know where it is at all times. So yeah, keep them locked in a safe. We have safes all around our house. Deeper background checks for sure, just to get a grasp on how the person's doing mentally, and stuff like that.
But I believe in like your regular hunting rifles, because there are people out there who hunt, and I'm not talking about the sportsmen. I'm talking about people who do go out and hunt for food, and that, because my dad, he was one. And he used to hunt for squirrels, rabbits, and that, and we did eat what he killed.
What about universal background checks?
Yes, I believe there should be a universal background check and a mental issue check, a mental background check, too, for like people with who suffer with Great Depression or whatever, always threaten to take lives. So if they're willing to take their lives, well, they might be willing to take others with them. So I believe we should rely on that. But like I said, a lot of it is at home. Starts at home with the parents. And that will make a big difference, I would believe. And I haven't heard anybody address it that way, that the problem lies at home and the way the kids are being brought up these days.
It should be. Universal background checks is the total United States background check, and it should be worldwide to find out who exactly is in your neighborhood. There shouldn't be any loopholes. It should be full firm for everybody, worldwide.
What about assault weapons?
Rifles, certain areas, certain hunting grounds should have access to them. They shouldn't have access to the cities.
What about AK-17s and 47s?
AK-47s, AK-17s, M16s, M19s, nothing of that should have been on the streets in the United States. You got the women and children out here. You got older people, you got people you got to worry about. Citizens. Really, the citizens are killing citizens because they have access to the guns.
How can we cut that access down?
Stop giving access to the American citizens for rifles and guns and things to harm, you know. Easy access to bomb supplies, easy access. Like right now you can walk in the library and it'll show you in a book how to make a bomb. Where do they do that at? They shouldn't have access to the public. It is originally top secret with military. Police let it go because other people could write a book and do the same thing and republish it and it'll be back on the shelf. But you still shouldn't have the access to weapons in the cities with children, worrying about children and elderly people.
How can we keep ourselves safe?
Talking to the right people, staying out of other people's business, or trying to close your circle.
Stop gun violence.
What role does the citizen have in making these steps happen? Universal background check, assault weapon ban, and so on.
Citizens have a role in lobbying their elected representatives. That's the most important thing you can do. I also do a lot of activism for environmental causes and for transportation, and I found that the best thing to do is to always make sure that your representatives hear from you, that they know your concerns, and to make sure they hear from you frequently, because if you don't keep the pressure on your elected officials, they're just not going to do anything. So they really need to hear from people, and I think that's the top thing that anybody can do.
Do you have any gun laws in Seattle?
Yeah, we did just, so we actually just passed a statewide initiative last year on an assault weapons ban. So, and so that's been a big one. It passed by a fairly healthy margin. So we do have that, and I think the city of Seattle also has some very specific laws also. And I don't think my particular town, which is on the smaller side, I don't think we have any gun safety laws in particular. But with the city of Seattle, of course, the laws there are going to affect every place around them. So we have city, I don't know if we have any county level laws, and then we have some statewide laws.
Stop gun violence.
Citizen action, this is a democracy, so we should have a voice, and if we can talk to our representatives and our congressmen and help them to see our vision, then if we do our part, we should be responsible citizens and help out and make our voices heard.
Stop gun violence.
Do you think universal background checks?
Absolutely.
Tell me more.
I absolutely do. I don't even know what to say. Something's got to be done, especially after that dating shooting. We got to get something under control.
Who's going to do it?
I hope the government, us. Somebody's got to do it. Fight for it. The lawmakers are going to have to do something.
You vote?
Not right now.
Should people vote for laws like that?
I think so.
I totally agree with that. I don't really know what we can do, but something has to be done. Because we don't need to be killing each other out here. We need to love one another, And people I feel like a lot of people don't want to work and they want to be lazy and they want to use weapons to take from other people, and I don't know what to do about it. I do not like guns. I've never been around one. I've never held one. I just don't like it. And it's hard. But people should definitely vote for these type of things.
You think assault weapons should be easy access to them?
No, not any weapon.
Guns don't kill people. People kill people. it's not the gun's fault at all. It's all about the person and what their mindset is.
Stop gun violence.
How can you keep safe?
I don't know. I hope the government does something.
Law enforcement need to be a lot more harsh.
That's why I said I agree. You should be able to bear arms and stuff, but something's got to give. It's dangerous.
I mean, there obviously needs to be better gun control. And is there any reason really for anyone to own an assault rifle? No. So there needs to be better regulations with guns.
If you're a parent and you got young kids at home, please monitor them. Be the one who teach them right and wrong. Don't let them learn stuff off the internet, because they don't know. And at that age, they're highly influenced. And if you just stick them in front of a computer or TV, whatever, and let them learn that way, they're going to end up learning the wrong thing, and it's already showing. I believe in gun rights, but I believe in that parents got to take control at home too. So, I mean, and I believe half of the problem with parenting nowadays is when the government came in and decided to teach the family how to raise their kids, that's where it went all haywire. Because anymore, you can't even discipline your kids anymore, feeling like you might go to jail because you ripped a kid on their hiney or whatever. My mom and dad ripped me on the butt. I turned out okay. I'm no mass shooter. But let me tell you, when I did get ripped on the butt, I never did what I did wrong again. I learned. So I believe, parents got to take more discipline in their home with the kids. That's what I truly believe.
Stop gun violence.
It's not even safe for people to be on the bus no more. People getting shot on the bus. No, I'm just saying in general.
Keep an eye on each other. Citizens watch. Stay in touch with the police. Keep gun violence down. If you find out somebody's got a gun, report it. Stay with groups.
Stop gun violence.